Believe it or not, a single pen stroke trapped tens of millions. Welcome to the Fergana Valley. Looks peaceful from space, right? But underneath lies Earth's most chaotic, dangerous border. What historical conspiracies are buried here? The population density is suffocating. Over 17 million people crammed together, making up a fifth of Central Asia. The craziest part? They're carved up by 3 countries. The borders overlap like jagged, deformed teeth. Look at these laughably narrow strips. Some resemble bizarre artificial peninsulas, jabbing deep into neighbor territory. Like this Uzbek land, stabbing straight into Kyrgyzstan. A strong breeze could snap it. It dangles like a chicken neck, connected by a mere 360-meter corridor. One squeeze, and it's severed. That's not all. This land is littered with fragmented islands adrift in foreign territory. They're called Enclaves. 8 totally isolated zones, breeding endless, explosive disputes. The southwest is the worst. Taking a wrong step here triggers a diplomatic crisis. The division is so brutal, borders slice right through lone farms, tearing families apart. How do you live when 40,000 people are locked in a disputed zone, stripped of freedom? They begged for a lifeline corridor. Neighbors responded with total isolation, making them prisoners at home. For nearby zones are equally tragic. No artillery needed. This chokehold sparks conflict anytime. Tiny in size, yet they are massive flashpoints ready to ignite the geopolitical chessboard. Here's the ultimate twist. One zone holds 80,000 ethnic Tajiks, surrounded by Kyrgyz people, yet ruled by Uzbekistan. Talk about a demographic glitch. A tangled demographic mess. For centuries, bloodlines mixed. They lived intertwined, sharing wells and garlic fields. Then the Soviets arrived and sliced the pie. Invisible borders ruthlessly split blood relatives. To grasp this chaos, we must turn back time. Back when this was a peaceful green oasis. Straddling the legendary Silk Road with abundant water, it was a brilliant cradle of cultures. Until the 19th century, it remained a shared home for countless ethnic groups. Nomads roamed freely. Nobody cared about drawing deadly boundaries. They spoke multiple languages, traded, and intermarried. The concept of an independent nation simply didn't exist. The nightmare began when the Russian Empire reached out. They carved the valley into governorates for easy control. A few autonomous regions remained as perfect facades, lulling locals into complacency. Outrage exploded when the Tsar conscripted Muslims. A brutal uprising drenched the valley in blood. The October Revolution sparked wildfires, burning away the old regime's remnants. The Red Army crushed the guerrillas. Young republics were swiftly annexed. The Soviets established a new order, bringing a cold, ruthless logic of division. They redrew the maps. With one stroke of Stalin's pen, millions of fates were derailed. Their nationalization plan was forced onto nomadic tribes who had never known a nation. Census takers botched the job. Siblings in the same house were split over wrong ethnic checkbox. They miscounted and ignored reality. Bloodlines here had mingled for millennia. Forced into artificial labels, rebellious seeds were backed into a corner. The hidden agenda: divide and conquer. Economic logic crushed family ties. Central Asia split into 5. Vital railways suddenly jammed at border checkpoints. The Emerald Valley was torn in 3. But back then, they were just internal borders. No one expected these harmless lines to become the century's biggest geopolitical bomb. Tens of thousands became foreigners on ancestral land. Historical friction morphed into mountains of hate. To secure economic hubs, they turned a blind eye to bloody ethnic clashes. Look at these bizarre intersections. The era of fake peace was officially dead. 1991. The USSR collapses. Faint pencil lines were suddenly locked with concrete and gun barrels. Independence struck fast. Internal administrative lines morphed into razor-sharp international borders. Three nations used outdated maps to fight over every inch of dirt and drop of water. Thousands trapped in enclaves. Unilateral border closures turned their homes into giant prisons. Extremist groups sneaked in to build hidden bases. Small villages were isolated, aid cut off. Minefields and barbed wire sprouted. The deadly game had just begun. Populated islands entirely cut off behind enemy lines. Border tension choked the air, a sliver of hope. Leaders compromised, starting a risky game of land exchange. But peace isn't cheap. Clashes erupted again this time. Massive, bloody, and brutal. The toxic Soviet legacy revived. Shocking, right? A tiny water pump ignited a powder keg. Tens of thousands were blocked from going home. The fires of war officially woke up, tearing the night. Just as total war loomed, sanity returned. Historical border markers were restored. A neutral corridor opened. Enough blood was spilled. They chose mutual benefit over mutual destruction. The three nations finally sat down and signed a historic deal. Century-old grudges are fading. Lines are drawn. The bomb diffused, a tragedy born from countless tangled threads. From vague ethnic lines and economic greed to the brutal post-Cold War shock, a tragic chapter closes. Look at the map, deformed lines remain. But the gunfire is asleep for good. A new future sprouts. Right here in the valley, once soaked in blood and tears.